I'm Taro Hazama, a 25-year-old Japanese carpentry Miyadaiku apprentice. I'm a newbie, so the work is challenging for me, both mentally and physically. I've always wanted to do this job since I was little, so I don't mind the difficulties. I first learned about this profession when I went to a temple with my father. The temple was undergoing restoration, and I was fascinated.
Wow! This is so cool! The workers can restore a temple that big?
Hey kiddo, are you interested in Miyadaiku?
What's the difference between regular carpentry and Miyadaiku?
We specialize in historic buildings. Not only must we know carpentry, but we also need to understand history.
Wow! Amazing! I love that! Do you think I can be a Miyadaiku too?
Of course! Come find me when you grow up. You can be my apprentice.
You promise, sir?
You can call me Master.
Okay, Master.
Other workers who heard us said, Master's making some kid happy again. I decided that day that I was going to become a Miyadaiku. By the way, my mind was too preoccupied with Miyadaiku for the rest of our trip. I guess I made things difficult for my father, but oh well. After returning from the trip, I put extra effort into studying math and social studies. I knew I had to be good at math, and the master also said Miyadaiku requires a good understanding of history. At first, my parents didn't believe I was determined to become a Miyadaiku, but they realized how serious I was after I entered middle school. My father didn't stop me from pursuing my dream, and had always supported me. The only condition he had was that I had to finish high school. I had already decided to go to technical school to study traditional architecture after graduating high school, so I told my parents my plan and asked for their support. My parents readily agreed. I studied the basics till I was 22, and went to find the master to work as his apprentice. Master seems to have forgotten about me first, so I told him I was the kiddo he promised to take in as his apprentice, and then I bowed. He remembered me and gave me a warm welcome. As promised, he accepted me as his apprentice. Wow, you're actually back! I heard it take more than 10 years of training to become a full-fledged Miyadaiku. I had studied on paper, but doing carpentry hands-on was another thing. Regardless, I enjoyed being surrounded by timber every day. One day, Master received a request to restore a very famous shrine. The major construction company that took the job from the shrine subcontracted the project to my master. So we'd be working together with this company. It felt like a dream to restore such a significant shrine. I was more excited than anyone on our team. However, I never guessed I'd meet the most annoying person because of the project. He was so absurd that it even seemed unreal. His name was Ibari. He was the so-called field supervisor of the project, and he had the most arrogant attitude toward us.
I'm Ibari, and I'll be in charge here. Never, ever talk back to me, alright? Remember, you guys are working for us as a subcontractor. Since you didn't study hard and can't use your brains, just move your arms and get the job done. Understood?
I hated the way he talked, but I held back my anger. Ibari also loved to brag about himself. He told us he graduated from KO University when nobody asked. Then he mentioned how wealthy his parents were. But only the younger team members, including myself, were infuriated by his attitude. Master didn't seem to mind at all. Master? Are you gonna let him disrespect you like that? I've met people like him before. Those dumbasses think they're better than the subcontractors. But we're here to do our best job, so ignore fools like him. He won't be the one who appreciates our job. It's the visitors to the shrine. His words made so much sense to me. My master is truly incredible. Afterwards, Ibari would brag about himself whenever he came to our job site. What he said had nothing to do with our job, so we all concentrated on our job without responding to him. Because I was still an apprentice, I wasn't allowed to do the main work. I calculated and carried timber, and did my best to help other workers. However, Ibari learned that I was an apprentice. He started bragging about himself to me exclusively, which was super annoying.
Sucks to be you. You're like the lowest of the low.
I'm working.
Hey, I'm the field supervisor. Why don't you tell me the progress of your work?
In that case, you shouldn't be talking to the lowest. Please, ask the master directly.
I'm asking you, idiot. Can't you even report on the progress? You're really good for nothing.
I was afraid if I kept saying no to him, he would start attacking other team members or my master. So I endured him and replied to every question he asked. He was always asking the same questions repeatedly, like a parrot, so I knew he was bugging me on purpose. Another reason he was only bothering me was that he was scared of my master. If I really wanted him to stop talking, I'd pretend to be called by the master and walk away. However, one day... Master? My master collapsed and was transported to the hospital immediately. He survived, but the doctor discovered he had heart problems, so he wouldn't be able to go back to work anytime soon. The other team members and I were all relieved that our master was safe. However, Ibari had a different reaction.
Hey! He had a heart attack at this critical time? What was he thinking? Listen up! I won't let you all off the hook if you don't finish the job on time!
Ibari came to the hospital but didn't bother to check on my master. He just threatened us in the waiting room and left the hospital. How can he say that? Are we really going to keep tolerating this guy?
I have the same feeling, but we can't leave the project now. It might damage our master's reputation. Let's endure him for now.
But I'm so mad at him! I suppressed my anger for Ibari. But since that day, I'd been keeping a voice recorder in my pocket. Because my master wasn't on site, Ibari's attitude got worse. I recorded everything he said and saved a copy on my computer. The job wasn't progressing as fast as when my master was there. Fortunately, there were some other skilled workers on our team. We also video called our master in the hospital for instructions, so we were on track to finish the job by the expected completion date. However, a typhoon hit us. The scale of the typhoon was so large that it only occurred once every 10 years. We had no choice but to pause for 2 days. We tightly secured the timber we needed for the job. We also covered it up to protect it from the typhoon. However, a lot of debris was blown into the shrine from the neighboring households, and it made a big mess. It's pointless to restore the shrine when the typhoon's too strong. Help the Shinto priest clean up the mess first. As per instruction from our master, we spent a few days cleaning the walkway and the lake. As a result, we had to extend the completion date. We're only able to welcome our visitors back with all your hard work. I'll talk to the contractor company about extending the deadline. The Shinto priest was very understanding. A week later, we finally resumed our work.
Are you kidding me? You guys were supposed to finish the job on time!
Yes, but we had to stop for a few days because of the typhoon. It also took us some time to clean up the shrine afterwards.
Stop making excuses, you idiots!
But the priest said he was okay with it.
Don't talk back to me! Oh my god, why on earth did my company hire such an incompetent subcontractor to do the restoration? I should report back to my boss to change the subcontractor!
After Ibari finished, he kicked away the timber that my colleagues had spent a long time organizing by hand. My anger spiked at that moment. What the hell is your problem? We're here working with pride. Even the priest agreed to an extension. So why are you giving us a hard time when the client said it was okay?
Excuse me, did you forget who's in charge here? Remember, I can decide to either fire or keep you.
Go ahead. I dare you.
Are you testing my patience? That's it! Get out of here! I'm firing you all! Don't come back tomorrow! Fired! You're all fired! Nothing can save you now!
By the time I calmed down, it was already too late. I started to feel regret, but other team members comforted me like they always did. I told them that I had recorded all my conversations with Ibari. My senior colleague suggested that we let our master listen to the recordings. So we decided to reveal to our master how tyrannical Ibari had been, especially after our master went to the hospital. We even thought about how angry our master would be. Finally, we made up our minds, skipped work, and went to the hospital. However, my master's reaction was surprising. He didn't say a word while listening to the recordings, and when the recordings finished... Taro... Yes, master? I'm sorry you had to endure Ibari's bullying. You did a great job. Oh, it was nothing. After all, everyone got fired because of me. Don't blame yourself. Then my master said something I had never expected. Guys, you don't need to return to the work site anymore. What? Why do you all look so surprised? Our employer has already fired us. Of course we don't need to go back anymore. Is it really okay not to go back? Well, I would get angry at Ibari eventually if I didn't get sick anyway. I refuse to work under that type of field supervisor. Bring me some sake! Sake's a no-no, boss! Hey, don't be so stingy. In the end, we decided to let it go and didn't return to the job site. Instead, we went back to our office. Everyone was so irritated with Ibari when we were repairing the shrine. We were so much happier to be back in our office. Maybe it was because we didn't have to face Ibari anymore. We were talking about drinking coffee until the phone suddenly rang. Hello? Rootski Construction.
Hey, idiots! What time do you think it is? Hurry the hell up and come to work!
Ibari called our office even though he just fired us yesterday. Didn't you tell us not to go back yesterday?
What? When did I ever say that? Stop making things up, or I'll sue your company for breach of contract!
At the same time, the Shinto priest called us on another line. According to my colleague, the priest said,
I checked with Ibari when nobody showed up today, but then he got furious. I've been concerned about his attitude and asked him multiple times to change it, but he blamed it all on the workers.
The priest seemed very troubled. I couldn't stand Ibari any longer, so I decided to show him my recordings. Stop lying already! I clearly remember you telling us that we were fired.
Can you prove that?
Yep, I recorded our conversations on my phone.
What?
Ibari sounded stupefied over the phone, so I continued to add fuel to the fire. My master has already contacted your boss about the situation. I'm going to your company later today to explain everything.
My boss?
Oh, haven't you heard? My master and your boss have been best friends since elementary school.
Are you serious? Oh, is that why he gave the project to such a small company?
You really don't know anything. Only a handful of workers in the country have the skills to repair such a sophisticated shrine. Our master is one of them. That's why your boss entrusted the job to him.
Okay, I got it. Yesterday, was a bit heated up. I didn't mean what I said.
Let me tell you something. I've been recording all your insults and name-calling for the last few months. Are you saying those were all because it was heated up too?
Wait, chill out! Are you guys really going to pass on the job?
The priest said he'll stop working with your company and switch to a different one if you continue to be the field supervisor.
What?
Anyways, I need to get going. Bye.
Wait a second! Hey, wait!
My colleagues and I went to Ibari's boss. We played all the recordings for him. Naturally, Ibari's boss was furious. He kept apologizing to us, and then...
Boss, you can't trust what he says! Please, hear me out!
I've heard everything! How dare you fire these guys! If anyone's getting fired, it's gonna be you!
No!
Because of the damage he caused to the company, Ibari got fired by his boss. Apparently, Ibari's colleagues also disliked him. Nobody even spoke to him on the day he left. Later, Ibari applied to other large companies but didn't get hired. So he had to go to the subcontractors he once considered low to find a job. Now he's being bossed around by senior colleagues with lower education status. As for the shrine project, the company sent a new field supervisor to our site. We resumed our work at the shrine and finished the restoration. The priest was so happy about the restored shrine. I was wondering what would happen to the project. I was particularly happy to see that we had finally finished the job. My master has recovered and is back to work now. You did a great job, Taro. Thank you. I showed him our pride. You should always be proud of what you do. Keep up the good work, okay? Okay! My dream of becoming a Miyadaiku is coming true.